Welcome back, everyone. My name is Emily Gear. I'm a multidimensional channel and a transformative energy healer. I am bringing you your weekly messages from the Akashic Records and from Source Energy. As usual, here is my website if you would like to set up a private one-on-one energy healing or reading with me. Those things can be scheduled on my website. And just FYI, if you have tried to schedule recently and there weren't a lot of open spots, I actually did open up quite a few hours during the day simply because a lot of things have been canceled that I would have normally had scheduled in those times. So do check that out. And there are also a few readings by email that are available on my site as well. Okay, so let's get to it. I am looking at the week beginning today, which is April 5th. Or really, whenever you find this video, the messages are relevant. Okay. So as I was shuffling, I've already gotten a number of cards flip up that indicate kind of a holding pattern. So I think there is some of that energy there. Maybe there is more to come in soon, but we may be a little bit in a pattern where we're being held back in order to go within or to really solidify our foundations, I'm hearing right now. I also want to say, I don't know if this is significant or not, but we're literally not playing with a full deck today because I really felt drawn to my... This is a copy of the Zerner Farber deck, which is, the Zerner Farber deck is the first deck I ever used, and I cannot find the original that's a little bit longer. These cards, they cut off some of the images and they cut off the borders and stuff like that. So it's similar. But anyway, not long story short, there are only 76 cards. Apparently 2 are missing in my house somewhere. I don't know where they are. I don't know which ones they are, but I'm still drawn to the deck, so we're still going to use it. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to ask Source for messages for the collective for the coming week. Oh, so I'm saying we are 2 cards short of a full deck, and that might have some meaning for you right now. And it could be that we really need to stabilize our foundations because we don't quite have it yet, you know. Okay. Messages for the collective, please, for the week ahead. All right, we've got the 6 of Swords. That also indicates sort of a healing. And the Princess of Swords. Okay, let's just get a few out before I start running my mouth. And the 2 of Wands. 6. Princess. And the 2 of Wands. Do you know what I'm actually feeling here is I'm focused on this Princess of Swords, and I am feeling, I don't usually go down this route because I feel like it sets up expectations for people where they become disappointed, but I do feel like there's some kind of message or knowledge that comes in. It doesn't need to be like a message from your significant other or whoever you're thinking about, because a lot of people do come to these readings looking for information about relationships. I am going to get back into relationship readings coming up soon, but this one is still general. In any case, it could be that, but it could also be, I'm getting like downloads, information where you are more consciously perceiving the direction that you're receiving from your higher self, from Source, whatever you really believe, or really, I kind of believe it's all kind of one, all kind of the same thing. Okay. And it doesn't matter where the separation is and the individuation and exactly what is what, that when it's coming in from that high vibrational source, that it is literally all sort of different manifestations of the same thing. Okay, I will try to stop derailing too during my readings. In any case, I do get you getting that kind of information, and that it sort of opens a pathway for you so that you're able to kind of more consciously decide. This card can really mean, I mean, it can mean a lot of things, but one of the things it can mean is a crossroads. And so you might be at a place where you're trying to decide what decision to make regarding your future, regarding a job, regarding how you're going to move forward. Maybe you've been put in a really tight spot where you need to make some choices. Maybe you are in a relationship where you need to make choices about how you move forward, okay? And I think that there are some sort of higher dimensional downloads that come in that assist with that. I think that this assists you. I get the feeling of like so in the traditional, and you even have it here, in the traditional Six of Swords, there is a man guiding a woman and child across choppy waters. And I get the feeling that this information is your guide, okay? Whatever that is. So maybe you get a letter from your boss. Maybe you get a text from a significant other. Maybe you get a dream that makes you feel a certain way, right? So I'm being told right now, within the message, there's always another message, that the message is actually your interpretation of it. So some messages aren't at face value. I know that complicates matters, but they're also telling me to understand what that means, to understand what that message and the message is, to go inside your body. And I'm always saying that the physical body is an incredibly sensitive tool for helping to discern. I personally feel like it's part of our survival instinct. And some of those things can have to do with survival, like fight, flight, or freeze, right? Others have to do with our discernment of truth, our discernment of meaning. And that's what is coming into play here. That we are being guided by this information, by this possibly literal guide, whether it's source or your higher self, or an angelic presence, whatever it is that you are working with and are connecting to. It may be a teacher, it may be a coach, it may be someone who is providing you with information that is allowing you to make decisions about your life as you're at an important crossroads. And the point is to cross the waters, to get to the place of healing. Okay? And so I started out by talking about a holding pattern. I feel like that's accurate because right now we're in this information gathering phase. It makes me wonder exactly where Mercury is right now. I haven't looked. I'm guessing it's still in Pisces. Actually, Mercury has been very close to Neptune, moving away from it, I think, at this time. So that could be there's a bit of a disambiguation happening here as Mercury separates from Neptune. Even if you are still in the sign of Pisces, it could be that when we move out of that sort of deep, confusing, sort of dreamlike state of Pisces, that we then begin to have the clarity and the action to move forward in this crossroads. But this is about the information and making the choices and setting yourself up with the knowledge and the understanding, moving toward the healing, okay? More messages, please, for the collective. That's interesting. Okay. The next card that came out was the Two of Swords in reverse. And this really feels to me in this case like this feels like a blockage that you don't have the power to move, okay? So this feels like a kibosh on certain forward movement at this moment in order to give you the time to do this research or information gathering or habit shifting and changing, which is what we talked all about last week. making decisions that are going to be important for you moving forward. This is a new cycle. It's literally a new cycle when the sun entered Aries. That was the beginning of the astrological year. But this morning, in my own personal channeling, I was told that this starts a new cycle, and it's not just for me; it's for everyone. So I think that this is going to open up very soon. But right now, it's almost as if you don't have a choice but to wait, to be in the holding pattern. That's how this is reading to me right now, that it's inverted because you can't decide to break the impasse, okay? It just is. Then what came out was the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Nine of Hearts in reverse, which is the Nine of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles upright. What I want to say is I'm feeling a sense of really deep confusion about where you're going. And that kind of goes along with the idea that there's some sort of clarifying energy, clarifying message, something that's going to help you make decisions moving forward about your life that comes in this week. Something helps to clarify, okay? And so if you're feeling this sense of confusion about where you're going and how you're going to get to the Ten of Pentacles, which is that stability and that, I want to say joy and happiness, but really to me this feels more like stability, a place where you can be free of the fear, freeze, or flight response, whatever, fight, flight, freeze. That's what I keep meaning to say. You can be free of that in the sense of stability. There's protection there. There's, you're supported. And every single one of us, they're saying, they want me to remind you, every single one of us is entitled to that by being human, no matter what you have already experienced in your life or what you think the story that you're telling yourself about your life is. So if you tell yourself, oh, I've only had terrible abusive relationships. I only, I get jobs and then I lose them. Or I never seem to get ahead. Or I never lose weight. I don't know why that just came up. Maybe somebody out there is thinking that. Whatever it is, you are reminded that you are entitled to, by virtue of being human, the highest possible vibration of your own energy, which is always going to be in a state of stability and balance and harmony. And that any disharmony is related to the stories that we tell ourselves, that we keep ourselves in these kind of tracks, these grooves that go off of center because, again, we continue to bring in and we act in accordance with our beliefs, which are faulty. They may, because we then believe that we never lose weight, or we never get ahead, or I can never pay off my bills, or, whatever it is for you. I only get into relationships with unavailable men. Well, of course you are. That's your belief. That is the thing that is guiding the actions that you're taking, right? That is the thing that is the energetic pull that you are pulling into your life if you just want to talk law of attraction. So I'm sure I don't need to explain to this crowd what that really means, but what I feel like is happening here is a reassurance that this is still possible, or this is possible, whatever this Ten of Pentacles is for you, and that you might not know what that is even. And I know that is a weird place to be in, but that's where you are kind of when we're, hanging out with Mercury and Neptune and Pisces and just like not knowing, feeling like everything is shrouded and not necessarily having the plan laid out in front of us, that we are now being asked to make some choices based upon leaps of faith, they're saying right now, depending on whatever comes in, the information that comes in. And you are going to, the advice then is the Chariot here, that we simply must push ahead when we receive that advice. We should not go and consult the old stories. We should not go and consult the way that we have always done certain things, that there will be a departure from that, and that is actually in accordance with greater balance, because our stories and our beliefs have kept us out of balance at times. Now, we've been working on this a long time, but it's like we're constantly swinging like this, back and forth, and we get closer and closer to being able to get to center. And that's what we're aiming for, because that is your highest and best possible alignment, which is part of the akashic enlightenment prayer that I say before I even get on the video with you guys. They seem to really want you to know, do not be discouraged, okay? By whatever confusion you feel right now, by whatever disappointment, by whatever lack of ability to move forward in this moment, know that it is intentional. What is this new information coming in? What is this new information coming in? I don't know if they'll be able to give us something specific, because everyone is different, but I want to know, what is this new information coming in? Two of Hearts. I'm going to get a couple more cards before I talk. I'm hearing that something that you've had your heart set on. It could be a person, relationship. For many of you, it will be with the Two of Hearts coming out. Something you've had your heart set on has been on hold. The Hangman came up next to it. Okay. Two of Hearts, Hanged Man, Eight of Wands. Another card of communication, and also a card of movement forward and persistence, I just heard. And so I think that you're going to gain greater clarity. This is, again, another card of communication coming in. So it could be a text from a person, or it just could be an understanding that comes through. This is also my card for downloads, specifically solar downloads. But it can also be any kind of download, whether it's, just information or knowledge or healing or whatever. I mean, it's all kind of the same thing. The sun is bringing you information, knowledge, and healing as well. I just get a greater understanding of the bigger picture of what's going on with whatever this thing is that you had your heart set on. Okay, so that could be different for everyone. You may have had your heart set on a certain career, and like you're kind of pulling away from that, and then you get some other information, and that helps you to understand why you were focused on that, but now you're not focused on that. That played a part in your story. Okay, same with a person, why you're focused on that, and maybe why this period of separation is going on, and that we need to allow it to be what it is. The general message here is that we need to allow this time to be what it is, and that this will help us see the larger picture, different perspective, the greater perspective, the sort of global perspective, if you want to put it that way. The big picture is really what I mean there. So expect to get into a place of understanding and a place of, I want to say, peace about whatever this thing is, and that it will assist you, as we saw in the very first set of cards here, in making some kind of choice or decision about how to move forward. Now, is that going to be necessarily a huge choice? It might not be. It might simply be that your choice is to live in peace now, and you are not going to mentally torment yourself over whatever this thing is that you've had your heart set on, right? But it might be more dramatic. It might be that you make the choice to detach from a certain person, or leave a job, or make some kind of huge change in your life, okay? Again, different for everyone, but just know that this is clarity that's coming in from a higher realm, and that it is healing, it is full of knowledge, and it is trustworthy. I'm hearing that as well. And it's going to show you the bigger picture, few oracle cards here. To begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. This is what you're getting this week, that direction. Oh my God, the light. I cannot even. Okay. So get out of your own way and allow yourself to receive this guidance, message, correspondence, whatever it is. And then, again, it's the message within the message that it's for you, that allows you to see the bigger picture about something you've had your heart set on. I am patient, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. Of course, it's exactly the message. Continued patience, because certain actions aren't possible right now. You're in a holding pattern that is not necessarily able to be changed by you, and so patience is necessary. I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. So it's also a star there. It's also a star in this card. So it reminds me of the star card. And that's all about our stories. When we let go of the stories about how things don't ever work out, or what's difficult, or what we don't have faith in, I had to do some serious thought about people that I have had faith in, and then I felt disappointed by, and then I didn't have any faith in them. I was like, this person is never pulling through. This person is just never going to pull his shit together, right? And I really have had to, and even in this very day, had to say, I have faith in you. I have faith in you, essentially. And by doing that, it always reflects back to ourselves. In what way do I need to have faith in me, Emily, to pull through, to do what I need to do to be successful? And so if that helps you to understand other issues going on within yourself, look at what you're projecting on other people, and accept that good things come easily. It is not as hard as we've told ourselves it is or has to be, okay? Those are stories, and they keep us held down. Let's go with one more. We're going to go with a Rumi card again this week, like we did last week, because people seem to like that. Let me just ask for a card to close this reading up for the collective. Advice for the collective, please. These can be kind of long, but they're usually worth it, so I hope you hang on to hear the end here. If you don't, I'm really glad that you watched my video today. Thank you so much. Let's see what... Oh, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you. Let's see what has to come out for us today. Message for the collective, please. Beyond the threshold of fear. For 25, which equals a 7. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. What was I saying just before about our stories and how they affect us? These are the fearful thoughts that are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. Rumi. How I celebrate for you. After so long away from home, you are finally returning. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends with whom you no longer have anything in common. Goodbye, old friends. I wish you well, you say, whilst turning your face to the burgeoning light of a new and yet ancient world. You are visiting as though for the first time, and yet somehow also remember deep in your sacred heart. Finally, we can sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and we'll dance and sing. Eventually, a day shall pass into the night, and we'll gaze beneath our feet, our mouths gaping open in awe, and minds utterly blank, rendered dumb in sweet submission to beauty as we watch the world spinning on her axis. After so long, you are changing your relationship to fear. No more shall it hold you in its thrall. You are becoming able to observe it, to witness it, even to have compassion rather than resistance. Instead of unconsciously sabotaging your growth and choosing to slumber in darkness, you awaken and delight in the light and sound of your divine being. Push and pull, one step forward and a half step back. So it has been for so long, and you have endured. Yes, you are winning the race, brave one, and it is fear. And fear is left to fizzle out. It was always a far less beautiful firework than your passionate conviction for love anyway. Better to let that dazzling firework come to light instead, much more satisfying. Oh, what a spiritual marathon you've been running. Now the end is in sight. You are drinking the sacred waters to replenish you from your journey. The cups are pushed into your hands by encouraging angels as you approach that blessed sash marking the finish line. Your body and soul are on this journey together, and now they are ready for victory. And yes, to rest and recover from the effort. Rest now before a new adventure begins from a completely different state of being. This oracle comes with spiritual guidance for you. You have broken through a barrier, a self-imposed barrier of fear, whether it seemed to originate from within your consciousness or from an external set of circumstances that held you back from taking the steps you are now taking or about to take. These steps may feel strange, new, uncertain, and exciting. Your mind might not have received the memo that fear-based existence is no longer in operation for you. It may need a loving, tender, reassuring, and firm update that the relationship you have with fear is now different. You are the witness, not the victim. Your consciousness is strong enough to hold it in compassion. You don't collapse under its weight. In fact, it is becoming less and less substantial for you. When it's there, it seems less convincing than what once appeared to be. Compelling, still at times perhaps, but not anywhere near as powerful as it once was. The power has been claimed by your heart instead. So give your mind the memo. Get used to the new way and take steps. Test your legs. You'll find them powerful and ready. Get set to fly. Test your wings. Trust is one. Daring is the other. You'll find them enthusiastic for flight and ready to learn to ride the currents, purpose-built for soaring to great heights. Trust in your vision. Without the murky filter of fear, it is sharp and clear. You can see what is meant for you, what is true for you, what is beckoning you forward now. Take the running leap. There is no darkness and light for you anymore. Just life living free and clear. I'll be running and flying beside you. We'll soar and dive and rise together. Let's play. I thought that was really appropriate given the rest of the reading. So let me know what you think, and I appreciate you guys being here. Here is my website again, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.